morning, good morning, good morning. Find the music somewhere. There it is. Hey, hope you're having a good day on this Tuesday. We had a little trip to the hospital last night. Not for us, for one of our neighbors. And it makes you realize, and all good, everything good, just a little bit of heat. But makes you realize how quick things can change. So yeah, it's important to take care of yourself. And it was probably just dehydration. So just to think about how important that is in these summer months that we're in right now. So good morning, everybody. My name's Sean Murphy. I am your head misfit. And I am here to help you have more of what you want and less of what you don't. Let me fix my collar here. Look a little bit more presentable. And so today, the idea is integrity. And the integrity isn't out there to you or you to out there. It's you to you. It is integrity. It is your signal into action. This is where we wind up with a tremendous amount of, did you know that, how many of you were, when you were growing up, heard the term or knew what, if you heard the term, you knew what it was, cortisol, right? Cortisol is that where everybody talks about that around your belly and the stress. One of the reasons I believe, I'm not a physician, don't quote me on this, and beliefs are like eyebrows. Everybody's got a couple. My thought is that there's a lot of challenge with people's weight today, and they all talk about that around your belly, cortisol, and that's from stress. That's from the parasympathetic system not calming down, and this whole fight or flight that we get into. It's kind of crazy how much our nervous system can affect our entire body. You talk to somebody like a Heather or an Amber and anybody in the wellness industry. You talk to a Diane, who's a nurse for 30 plus years, 40 years. And you'll see how much the nervous system can truly affect the body. I'm doing some experiments on myself right now and seeing how I've been able to adjust some things pretty rapidly. I have known what's called as overnight syndrome with glucose, and my liver would dump a whole bunch of insulin into my body and my numbers would be sky high in the morning. I did some things over the last couple of weeks and I got it in order. So my signal is I always wanted to do this, and I kept turning it over to the doctors. I kept turning it over to my environment, and I couldn't do it, and everybody else is eating pizza, and I said, well, I don't want to make it right. I was turning my health over to somebody else. So my signal was I want to be healthy, but my actions were I don't care about being healthy. So I did a 48-hour fast. I did a couple of things, and all of a sudden this morning, I even snacked last night late after we left the hospital. But I snacked on a radish and one mini cucumber. And what else did I have? Oh, and some raw nuts. I was told this by some good friends. You should eat these kinds of things. My actions were never there. What does this have to do with success? And success is always your fault. Your signal for success is true. Well, I shouldn't say it's true. Your desire for success is true. Your signal when you get excited about your success is true. The reality is your actions are not, there's no integrity. You are completely 100% out of integrity. Now, this is going to hurt. This is a mental toughness conversation. So the killer success conversation today is signal to action integrity. So most people gather their inputs. They set goals and they even do some planning. the reality is the real divergence between high output performers and high consumption thinkers. Think about that. You know some people on your team. You know some people as customers. You know some people who are part of your world who are high consumption thinkers. They think a lot. They'll tell you they got 1,001 plans. So here's what I'm going to offer you right now. I'm going to offer you this idea, this, when I talk about, well, why are people always in a positive solution around you? Because I set the stage. I set the stage for positive solutions. We're only going to talk about positive solutions. I don't need to hear about where you've been. Tell me where you're going. So when you sit down with something, you could ask them, hey, listen, are you interested in becoming a high output performer? Are you going to be a high consumption thinker? Man, there's your binary. There's your choices. That makes it real easy for somebody. A high output performer, meaning we're going to track your activities based on results. My results sucked for a decade. And in a matter of 3 weeks, I was able to get my results back. So this doesn't take long. When they talk about things that, well, I don't know if I could ever do it. I can tell you right now, there's things in my world that are reversing. I still need to maintain. They're reversing. They're at a level they've never been in a decade. What would happen if your income was at a level it's never been in a decade? And you were able to start to see the high output performance. It doesn't really take a whole lot to wake up in the morning and have a blood glucose of 107. That wasn't hard. That was not hard. That was high output, but I didn't take any thinking. So here's my point. How cleanly does a signal become action without distortion, delay, or dilution? Distortion, delay, or dilution are things like procrastination, perfectionism, need to know more. That's signal integrity. How cleanly does a signal become action without distortion, delay, or dilution? So let me ask you this. If you had to think of a moment in your life where you were given a set of circumstances, a set of realities in the moment, and you took immediate, clear action, and the result was delivered without distortion, without delay, and without dilution. You've had those moments. You've had those moments. I promise you, I know you can't be to this point in your life without ever having a moment where you had absolute clarity. It was probably a very stressful moment. It was probably a very energetic moment. I can promise you, when the decision was made for the family to go to the hospital, that was a clear, decisive moment. That was a clear signal. I don't know if I need to go. I don't really need to go. You were going. And they go. That's a pretty clear moment. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying is that you've had these moments. They were usually given to you. They were usually thrown in your face. I'm offering you the idea. What happens if you decide today that there is no more delay? There is no more scrolling. There is no more distraction. And it's really not distraction because you don't have traction on anything. Traction is deep work. I'm talking deep work. If you've seen any of some of the videos, I work in the industrial world and I work in the farming world. And sometimes there'll be pages because of things I click on and like. They track me. right? I'm sure they track you. But when things get stuck, I grew up on a farm, and sometimes we would bury a tractor beyond its axles up to the cab. And when it gets stuck, you ain't got no traction whatsoever. You are stuck. So ask yourself, are you stuck? And if you're stuck in a particular phase in your life, you have no traction. You are spinning. You've everything that you need to use to grab stuff, you're just covered. You're stuck. So you're signaling getting out. So let me ask you this. If a prospect says something, do you filter it? Do you interpret it? Do you come up with a story around it? Do you delay it? Do you move instantly with the right calibrated response? I can tell you most people don't. Most people hear a response from a client and they put on their defense mechanism. They put on their, well, that doesn't make any sense mechanism. Does a new insight drops. Do you write it down when you get a new insight? Let me ask you, this is about how to determine if your signal is clear. When you get a new insight, when you get a new idea, do you ever write it down or do you forget it? Do you test it live within the next 24 hours? How about before you make a call or a conversation or send a text? Is there any friction in your body at the moment? Do you smooth it out with preparation or carry the fog in with you? Right? These are questions. This is why your signal. Here's the thing. I know for a fact, I know most of you, and if you're new to this call, you're a psychographic. Meaning, if you showed up to this energy, you're here because you're a little bit odd. We call ourselves misfits. We don't quite fit in out there. We fit in here really well. Out there, we're kind of an odd duck. Why? Because, stop, Molly. I love you. Stop. Because we're not letting the world dictate to us how we should be. That makes us a little odd when we go against the flow. And when going against the flow, we wind up in our own river, which is kind of cool. So if you're not focused on you, the slightest little, listen, how fast can you take a pot of boiling water off of a boil? Well, it depends upon how much water's in the pot. Great answer. Depends how long it's been boiling. Great answer. A small pot of water, like a cup of tea, boiling, just starting to boil. What happens if you throw one ice cube in there? It's going to cool it down. It's going to take it off of the almost boil, and it's going to go back to, it's got to go through simmer and get hot again and all of that stuff because it's not a lot boiling. Physics is physics. The reason that some of us stay stuck is one, we got no water in the pot. And when we do put some water in the pot, because we are so hot with energy, hot with frustration, hot with anxiety, hot with tension, hot with, you name it, alphabetically or order of importance, the water boils out completely. And when we go to touch the pot, because there's nothing in it, we think it's empty. It looks cool. It could be a cool pot. We get burned. I'm offering you a chance to say, hey, listen, let's get some water back in you. Let's get some belief back in you. Let's get some, that's your evidence file. Your evidence file is the water you put back into this pot so that you can realize I've done some good stuff. So you have systems, right? Your vision system, you got some structure, you got all of your circulatory systems, all of those things. So the real edge is not more input. Listen carefully. This is key. Every one of you, this I know for a fact because I've done this for 3 decades, over 30 years. I've helped people who said, okay, I'm ready. I'm done. I'm done playing around. I'm done messing around. I'm ready to be guided, and I can go double your income in 60 days. Real easy. You have all of the skills because you've done so much to get to here. You've swung at so many pitches to get to here. You've chopped at so many trees to get to here. You have tremendous skills, tremendous talents. If we hone those down and we focus those, laser focus those into your IPAs, your income producing actions, there's no doubt you could begin to double your income in 60 days, 90 days at the max. You could have a significant, continuous income. Significant, continuous income in 90 days compared to where you're at now. And if you've got income coming in now, it's easy to go forward. It's only percentages. I take companies that are at $1 million a month and take them to $2 million a month. It's not that hard. It doesn't matter whether it's $100 and go to 200 or $1 million to go to 2 million or 5 million to go to 10 million. It's not that. It's scalability. When you start to get into those numbers, do you have the bandwidth, right? That's where the term bandwidth, I guess, came from. And most people have the bandwidth, the skill, the capability, and the capacity to easily deal with a doubled of anything. Listen, you've dealt with a doubling loss of income. You're dealing with it. You're focused on it. You're moving around through it. You're what's the word? You're coping with it. Is that the word? I'm not even sure if that's the right word. Coping with it. It sounds right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to tighten the loop between I see it, I know what it means, I move on it now. The elite, the successful don't rush, yet they don't wait. Napoleon Hill said, successful people are fast to make decisions and slow to change them. You know what people who are poor do? They're slow to make decisions and they change them all the freaking time. So, how clear is your signal? And then what is your integrity to follow through on it? I can promise you the last goal you set, you've got the skills to get there. You do. You've got the skills to get there. My question to you is, what kept you from it? So think about that. What would it mean for you to have an idea and take action on it? To be like the little ant or to be like the bee. They go out, they smell some sugar somewhere, and they're like, we're on it. They go back, they tell the rest of their hive. Your hive is all of your thoughts. Your hive is all of your skills. Your hive is all of your talent. And they go back and they do their waggle butt thing. If you've not seen a documentary on bees, they waggle their butt and they tell them which way it is, how far it is. Can you imagine that by wiggling their butt? They tell them how far away something is, where it's at, what kind to look for, and off they go. What would happen if all of your skills, talents, and capabilities and capacities got a signal from you, truly got the clearest signal from you and knew where to go? What would happen? So the question then becomes, what's next? What's next? You have tremendous skills. There's no doubt. How cleanly you move from perception to execution. That's your edge. Usually when we're in the solution-driven business, we've got some extraordinarily clean ways to execute. You listen, you know, you have some clean ways to execute. You have some clean ways to tell people, hey, listen, you want to do this better? Yeah, here, get started. That's a clean execution. Why is it so hard for people to say, I don't want to do that? I want the result of the action, but I don't want to do the action step. Why is that? Because their signal isn't clear. You are a signal tuner. You help people realize what they're truly focused on. So this is where your signal either builds momentum or gets absorbed by the drag. Where did you feel friction in the loop? If you think of an input right now, think of today. What's your input today? Right now, think of today. So if you're listening to this on July 2nd or 3rd, what is it? 2nd, or October 1st. What's your input today? What are you putting into your system today as far as your awareness? What's the goals you want to achieve? What's the action steps you want to achieve? What are the results you want? How is it being interpreted? Just today, this morning, for the next 4 hours, what's the goal you have for the next 4 hours? And if you're sitting there going, geez, I don't know, there's a clue. I mean, a crystal clear. Yeah, but somebody could, that's okay. It's called adaptability. If somebody calls you and you need to go do something, you can do something. Here's what I'll tell you. Last night at 9:00, I have never, ever been to the local hospital. Never, ever been to I've never sat in the ER waiting room. Very small waiting room here in our little town. Good thing. That was never on my dream board. July 1st, 9:00, show up at the local Clinton ER. Didn't know where it was. I knew where the hospital was. I didn't know where the ER was. I didn't know how you get in. I walked up to the elevator bay, to the ambulance bay. They're like, you can't get in here. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know where it was. Now, if they said I can't get in there, did I take that as, well, I guess I got to go home. They won't let me in. No, I was showing up at the wrong place. See, you get all this. This probably something like that's happened to you before. If you ever went someplace new and you went into the wrong door, or you parked in this part of the parking lot and you got in, you're like, oh my God, if I had known it, I'd have parked on the other side of the building. Because your signal was clear, you made the effort. So my question for you is, what do you want in the next 4 hours? What's your input in the next 4 hours? What do you want done in the next 4 hours? And if you don't have a clue, Jim Rohn would say, that's a clue. Now, let's say you have what you want to get done in the next 4 hours. I have 2 clients coming in. I got 4 phone calls I got to make. I got to, whatever it is. I got to go up and check on the sheep. I got to go up, make sure the fence is still all up. Make sure a tree limb didn't fall down on it. And it doesn't have to be a very big tree limb when you're using hot wire and plastic poles, so we can move things around quickly. The sheep are in a new pasture. We put them in a new pasture last night. I got to make sure they know how to get back into that pasture, because it's a little bit of a labyrinth the way we have the fence set up. So now there's my input. That's what I'm going to do in the next hour. As soon as I get off this call, that's the first thing I go do, is I go check on the sheep. Make sure they got water, all of those things. What's my interpretation of that? Is that something I want to do? I want to go see the sheep. I'll come back and Michelle will ask me, did you check this? I'm like, oh, I forgot that, because I get too excited when I go see the babies. So my interpretation is, yes, I'm going to do this, and this. And then when I get around to Noura, or if Ainsley comes up, Ainsley came up and spent some time with me yesterday. She's been a little bit, I don't say standoffish, but she's never been one to come running over for hugs and giggles. She came over yesterday and I'm like, oh, you love me. I love you. So my interpretation is, I want to get all these things done. I need to be a good shepherd. Literally, I need to be a good shepherd. But I wind up just being somebody who enjoys their company. And maybe I forgot we have this little sensor that I was supposed to hang on the fence, that if the fence goes off, this thing flashes and tells me there's no energy in the fence. So I need to go up and check the fence. Well, I didn't hang that yesterday. So what is the input that you have? Keep it real simple. What's the input you have? What's the interpretation your body has of it? This is where your signal comes from. I need to talk to 5 people today. Do you realize you could talk to 5 people in the next hour? You could make 5 reach outs in the next hour. You can do 5 follow-ups in the next hour, in the next half hour. Hey, listen, just checking in on you. How are you? It doesn't really take that long. See, your interpretation is 5 people a day, 5 follow-ups. Oh my gosh, I don't know when I'd have the time to do that. What your interpretation of it is that it is some massive, monumental task. It's not. To reach out to 5 people. See, the challenge we have is our interpretation might be, well, to reach out to 5 people, whether it's initial invite or follow-up, is I've got to get them enrolled, and I haven't been able to enroll 5 people in a day. That's not what the input was. The input was reach out, follow up, whatever it is. The interpretation is I don't have the skills. I have no credibility. It never works for me. And then what's the action? The action is based upon the interpretation, not the input. Is this making sense? So now, with this understood, I want you to think about what is the input and where do you feel clarity about this input? Where do you feel clarity about your put your head on the pillow end results today? Where do you feel clarity about that? Where does your signal hit? You knew and you moved. Where does your signal hit that it lights you up, that you feel comfortable enough, clear enough that you know it? Yeah, that's it. That's what I want to do. I can do that. That I know I can do that. And then you moved. Here's the key. Here's the transition, right? Here's the Wallace D. Wattles. It's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. Here's the Wayne Dyer. It's not change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. This isn't a pressure point, what we're talking about right now. It's a precision check. How precise are you? Could you imagine? Let me ask you this. Could you imagine on your phone? Most people don't wear watches anymore. Some people do. But let's just say we count a lot. If we check our time, if we're not wearing a watch, we go to our phone, right? Could you imagine if every time you looked at your phone, the time was wrong? Think about it. Think about it. If you looked at your phone, if that's what, or whatever timepiece you use to confirm the time, it's 6:30 right now, 6:33. So, and your body has a body clock. You can if you really tuned in, you could get down to the minute. Time is a construct of man, but yet sunrise, sunset, how many minutes it's been since sunrise in this construct. Anyways, so if you're all of a sudden you've been busy. Now there's times where we're busy, we'd be like, what time is it? It's noon. Noon? Oh my gosh, how did you get to noon? And you were busy the whole time, but you thought it was like an hour. And it was 3 hours later, right? We've been there. That happens a lot when we're at the beach or someplace fun. Oh my gosh, time just flew. And then there's other times where you're like, what time is it? It's 6:05. Oh my God, I got here at 6 o'clock. I thought I'd been here for hours already. So here's the thing. We're looking for a precision check, your ability to operate within the rules of nature to get the most out of this moment, that it would even surprise you. So here's what I want you to do. If you want to anchor this in the next 24 hours, starting right now, in the next 24 hours, I want you to start right now. I want you to write down a signal, this feeling. What's this feeling? What's one of your signals? What's one of your emotions that you want to act on in the next 24 hours? And I want you to say, I'm going to track this loop. And then keep tabs on your signal. Keep tabs on how your signal expands, narrows in focus, turns more into a laser. Track how your signal, the vibration of your signal adjusts over time. This is how signal becomes shape, and shape becomes systems, and systems become impact. Whatever angle, whatever vector, whatever target you're driving. So signal into action. So it's based upon your input. What's the thoughts you're having? What's the goal you want today? That's your input into your computer system, into this nervous system. And your nervous system interprets the input and gives you a feeling, aka signal, that determines whether you're going to do it or not. Speaking in front of an audience is not a death-worthy feeling. And yet, surveys show people would rather die in a fiery car crash than publicly speak. Input, I need to talk in front of people. I love talking in front of people. You could give me a topic, a one-word topic, and say, and I'll ask you, how long do you want to talk about that? How long would you like me to talk? 15 minutes. Great. I can talk about, okay, we want you to do a 2-hour training. Awesome. Give me about 3 minutes and I'll be ready to go. I got to make my input. Bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point, bullet point. Got it. Okay. I can go for that. And then if I'm allowed to ask any, if I'm allowed to take any questions, easy, we can go 3 hours. So my point is, what is your input? Your input is your goal for the day, your desire for the day, your want for the day. The interpretation, your neuroencoding is what screws us up. Subconsciously, the brain's looking for two things. Will this kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? You say, I'm going to follow up with 5 people. Your body interprets it as, oh, I got to go enroll 5 people today. I've never enrolled 5 people today. I can't enroll 5 people today. I'm going to follow up with 5 people today. They don't want to follow up with me. They quit my business. They stopped doing my stuff. And your whole day goes to hell in a handbasket. So there's my conversation for you this morning. Questions, comments, thoughts. What's your takeaways? What'd you learn? What'd you like? What did you hear from this that you're like, oh, okay, there's a little leak in my boat. Or maybe there was a Titanic gash in the side of my vessel. But I could see where I was starting to lose some of my ability. It's the interpretation. It's the how do we tune that signal after the input to get us in gear. Any thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways?
Happy Tuesday.
Oh, hey, good morning.
Yeah. So the tuning of the interpretation. Wow. That hit.
Yeah.
Hit between the eyes.
It's kind of simple, isn't it?
It is.
And here's the neat thing. That works with your prospects and your clients.
Exactly. That's exactly the train of thought that I was on.
And here's how you bring them into it without them feeling like you feel right now. But you're working on a path, and you've got somebody to guide you, and you've been kind of had your nose popped before or your shoulder nudged before. Tell the story about how it affected you, and let them ease into it. You know, I have somebody who helps me, which means they're now in the same position. You've just put them in the position of you're the one helping them without saying I'm here to help you. I have somebody who I go to on a regular basis for support and help and guidance. And most people, when I tell them that, they're like, really? I didn't see you needing somebody. Well, I like to sharpen my saw. I like to stay sharp. You ever hear that phrase? I like to stay sharp. And there's, yeah, I hear that. And they kind of kicked me in the shin the other day because I have business goals. I have personal wealth goals and personal health goals. And we all write them down. We all want to get better. You want to get better, right? I want to get better too. I want to get better at serving my prospects and serving my clients. And he said to me, he said, what's your interpretation of your daily goal? And I kind of, which is what he does regularly, kind of baffles me. And I'm excited when I get baffled because I know there's going to be some good stuff on the other side of it. And it was, how do I interpret my desire today? And a lot of times, because it's something I've never done before, it's a little scary. It may not show up like that. I'm the duck. You know, you've heard the story of the duck. Calm on the surface, but the feet are going like cray cray. So I want to offer this to you because I know exactly where you're at. And I have a tremendous confidence that I can get you where you want to go. The reality is, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, client, you've not seen the results you want yet. You have a lot of years of the interpretation of, I've tried this. I don't know if this is going to work. Have you ever had that feeling before? I've tried this. I don't know if it's going to work. I hope it works. So the interpretation is, no matter what you try, you hope it works. What if maybe this could be the time? This could be the one time you absolutely know that it's worked, because it's going to work, because you start to feel my confidence. I know for a fact we can arrive at your healthy place. Is it okay if you have that belief too? Because if the input is we both want to get better. You want to get better. I want to get better. My interpretation is I know I can help you. I know I have a 30 plus years. I don't want to tell anybody that. I have 30 plus years experience, success, proven success. And you've got 2 decades worth of struggle and effort, and one more time, and one more new thing, and one more this, and one more that. Would it be fair to say that your interpretation of the goal is that it's a struggle? And the result is you're sitting here in front of me again today with the result of it didn't work. What if we worked what if our first session was to get your body in alignment, to get your signal of possibility in alignment with, this is going to work? Because what do we all, I don't want to have false hope. I mean, I really wanted to work, but I don't want to have I don't want to get let down again. What if we could throw that feeling out the window? What if today we could finally say, I can commit to you. We can finally lift you up. What would shift? What's your feeling on that?
Oh, I think it's beautiful.
I mean, does that make sense? Does that?
It absolutely makes sense. Okay. It resonates. Yes.
So now you have this, I had this visual of, they're on AM, you're on FM, and they can't hear your signal.
Right.
Even though they're sitting there nodding.
Right.
There's such.
And I want to change. I want to change their signal. I do not want to change mine.
Right.
And I think I mean, that sentence, I think, just encapsulates a whole lot of issue that I've been facing. I've been changing my signal instead of.
And that's exhausting.
Guiding them to change theirs. Yeah. It is exhausting.
And you got to you got to remember what signal I need to be for everybody else. And so.
Right. And
if you say one thing wrong, oh my God, I triggered them. No, they were looking for a trigger. which is why the 21 reasons in 5 minutes, that's your signal. That's their signal. Oh,
Yeah.
is number 9 not right? Do we need to change number 9? What do you mean? Remember when we did the 21 things and we worked down through 20 through 18 through 15 through 6, however many things we worked through, and you said this is the one thing, the main thing, they'll keep the one thing, the one thing. So evidently that's not important anymore. Yes, it is. Okay, so do I need to adjust or do you need to adjust? Because I know what your one thing is. Seems like maybe you forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sean.
All of this, listen, and a lot of this stuff I was doing it, I was an unconscious competent because my signal was clear. But I was doing these things, asking the questions. I didn't understand psychology when I came up with the 3 questions: help, uncomfortable, take you out of it. I didn't understand the brain. I wasn't a brain trainer at the time. I didn't understand neuroencoding. I just got tired of having people lie to me. And I was taking ownership of the lie. And I didn't like people because they lied to me. Then when I realized everybody lies, I don't have to lie to me. And I don't have to take your lie as truth. And if it's not true, I get to kind of hold up the mirror and say, hey, listen, here's the mirror. Remember the window we talked about? Remember the window? You said you want to get to your goals? Here's the mirror. You're lying, not to me. You're lying to yourself. Oh, well, I'll tell him I'm busy. BS. Belief system. I'm busy. I don't have any money. That's a lie. That's a flat out lie. If you got an iPhone and you ain't got no money, that's a lie. If you have electricity or indoor plumbing, that's a lie. You have money. I'm not saying to spend it on me, but you are setting, anybody who says I have no money is setting up a global expression of their entire life, which is why they stay poor. Period. It's not my presentation that they have no money for. It's their whole life they have no money for. It's not truly a lie, yet it's a lie they've told so much they believe it. I don't have time for that. That's a lie that you've constructed, that the input and the perception gives you a result that you're comfortable with, called your comfort zone, that you hate and you know it sucks. So when I could step out of that and I could be the guardrails on the bowling alley and you still had to throw the ball and I didn't have to change the pins or kind of keep track of the score, you do all that. There you go. Hey, Sanka, good morning.
Good morning, Sean. How are you this morning?
Let me think about outstanding.
You have to think. Oh my goodness. Yes, wow. I have a lot of stress and I can't get rid of it. So what you
Okay.
were talking about this morning, the cortisol, I I know all about it. And I've tried like literally for the last 6 months to get rid of it, and I can't. Or
Okay.
well, I don't know how. Well,
Okay.
I have tried different things, but it hasn't worked. But
Okay.
now I'm back to having even more stress. So I try to limit my stress, but now, yeah, now I have more stress than I've had,
Okay.
and it's gonna kill me. I know that.
So here's a couple of things. Is that the story you want on your tombstone? I'm kidding. You know I love you, but I'm also asking. She knew it and it killed her. Is that what you'd like to put on your tombstone?
Well, she had no other choice.
Okay. So,
Well, that's probably that's the bad thinking. Okay,
yeah.
but
So now the
anyway, I
question
don't know.
is, would you like to change that?
Of course, I would like to change that.
Okay,
It's not making me happy.
no, I get it. I get it.
Oh,
This is me being uh Captain Obvious. And the reason I ask you this is because the one who said yes, I would like to change it is not the same energy, not the same signal that said, and I know that it's killing me. They're not the same signal. It's impossible because we can only have one thought at a time. So the one that says I want better and the one that says I I am doomed to this are two different frequencies. We can even hear them. I heard them in your voice come differently. So the question is which would you like to focus more on today? The one that says I have a solution or this is impossible.
well, certainly the one I have a solution. I mean,
Okay. So now the old one, can you hear the old one starting to argue? Can everyone hear that in the tone? The one who says, I know this is the problem is starting to argue because it's losing its identity. It's losing its space on stage. It literally, we can hear, it is so audibly available. The frequency of course I want to do this, but there was this tone, this signal in it that the one who says this is, I don't know what to do is going, wait a minute, this is what we've been focusing on for 6 months. We can't give this up. So here's my question. If you want to give it up, and I truly know you do, the question is what frequency, what energies do you already have in your world that exists in your life that would change your state? So there's a dog that kind of hangs around you sometimes that you get to hang around. What's the dog's name?
Lola Beans.
What's that?
Lola Beans.
Lola Beans, yes. So do you see what just happened? Lola Beans is not stress. Now I get it. Listen, I still got to do activity. My income's gone. I'm down to one thing. I got to work on this. I still got bills piling up. I get it. But you can't go come up with a solution if you constantly be thinking about the fire. We've got to put the fire out. And the way we put the fire out was when you just giggled about Lola Bean. So here's what I'm saying. The input, I've got to go do this. Filter it through Lola Bean. What would Lola Bean do with this? And I know that sounds crazy, but it also sounds crazy for a beautiful, intelligent, wildly educated, incredibly globally experienced human being who has tremendous knowledge to think that you're stressed. Nobody would think you're stressed.
Why would people not think I'm stressed?
Because you've got such an amazing life, an amazing story. But there's two sides to every coin. But most people see it says this is social media. They see the outbound expression of us and they're like, oh my God, they're living the dream. Sometimes we got to tell them, hey, listen, I got a flat tire. And they're like, you're kidding. Oh, I'll help you. But if everybody sees our life as perfect, the one thing, what got you the most interaction? Devastated. Right?
Yes.
And I bet it might still
But
be.
I was telling you how I think these people are all sick to respond to stuff like
But-
that. Whenever and I've said this, when I look at, you can look at my posts, the nice pictures, the reels, the travel, everything. It hardly gets anything. But the minute I put some controversial or some bad, which I don't put very often, or of course I do get a lot of response if I post pictures of myself in a bikini, but that's not really, well, I guess for travel business it works, right?
Right.
But I really don't care if I have thousands of likes, 100 of likes, or no likes. What I care about is that things convert. I mean, likes don't convert. I can care less as long as I can make money. That's my most important goal for posting all of this stuff.
Right.
Otherwise, there would be no need for me to do that.
Right.
But
And
it causes me stress knowing, okay, I have to post all these things, I have to do all these things every day. And so now, what I've been asking for this entire year, or even longer, this entire year at least, yes, this entire year at least, I want to have a community. I want to have people to work with. And now I have that. And now it feels like even more stress because there's literally every minute there's a notice going off on my phone, and some of it is applicable to me and some of it is not, but I've lots of times feel like, oh, I should read it, maybe it's something I need to know. So yes, it's a very weird place. I was just telling myself yesterday I should be wildly excited and wildly happy because I was begging for this for literally a year, and now I have it, and I'm not as wildly excited as I should be.
So
So,
maybe sometime today, because now the input is I got what I want and I don't feel good about it.
well, it feels like maybe it's all going to go away because whatever I'm supposed to do, I'm doing, but I'm not getting where I need to be right this second. And I
Okay.
need to be there right this second. Does that
So
even make
you
sense? I
you
don't even know if that makes sense.
100% clarity. I clearly hear it 100%. So here's my point. This is the part that you struggle with. This part that I'm about to say is the part that seems like a struggle, and it doesn't need to be anymore starting today. So you've got to make a choice. The choice is that I got everything I want and I need to be there. The signal of there is different than the signal of here, because the signal right now, the vibration you have, the frequency you have is I'm not there. And
I'm not where I want to be, yes. Or where I need to be.
exactly.
Yes.
And so now the key is if we believe in law of attraction and we believe in vibration and we believe that our thoughts can influence our day, and what we think about and think about, we bring about the shift. And this is the hardest part. This is the hardest part. And if there was a way for me to give somebody a pill, I'd be a trillionaire. To move from this vibration of I'm not there to move into, to make your body fully aware and fully in attunement of I am there. Because you'll never get there until your frequency says I'm okay with moving to there. Because the frequency of moving to there, where you need to be in vibration, is clouded and confused because the money's not there, the team isn't there, the this isn't there, all of the external things are not there, and that's all we can see. But the reason all of those things are here is because of the signal coming from in here that says I'm not where I need to be. So it's a lie. You are where you need to be because you're alive, you're on this side of the grass, you're doing all that. Yeah, but that I know, but I'm not where I need to be in business. Oh, I get it. I'm not where I need to be in health. I get it. I'm not where I need to be in relation. I get it. Here's my point. We need to change our signal because we can't draw from the universe. If our radio is tuned to 101.1 and the signal where we need to be at is 105.5, we will never pick up the signal, the radio waves, if we stay at 101.1. So my suggestion is today, what would it be? Just get all of your energies, do all of the things you can, Lola Bean moments, horse moments, people sending you pictures when the horse lays down. It's like, I don't believe it. I think you photoshopped that picture of the horse laying down, right? Because I've never seen the horse lay down.
I never thought that. No, I'm sure.
I know, but my point is I want you to raise your energy. When your laughter comes out, Silka, it is one of the most highly pure tones, frequencies, energies. When you get into your high state of energy and laughter, you have this incredible vibration. The challenge is it's sometimes very urge you with the greatest amount of urging I could do. I'm going to tell you, I don't usually, I'm going to tell you, take 30 minutes and do your best to raise your energy. Think of, and don't, oh, well, yeah, this is stupid. No, I got to be doing that. No, take 30 minutes, just set a timer, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, start with 15 minutes of just things that make you laugh, things that drive, because we all have the binary mindset. And here's what happens when we're in this stressful situation and we start thinking about good things. When we go here, the brain instantly, because there's more pattern in our body, goes to the negative. Oh my God, this is so amazing. Yeah, but we do the yeah, but deal. I'm going to offer you, do 10 minutes of just pure energy, laughter, awareness, people you love, the memories you have, getting on a camel, falling off a camel, slipping into a pool, rolling out of bed, somebody surprised you, something that popped in my head when you go to the Mexican restaurant, they put the big sombrero on you, and they have this thing where they come and they put whipped cream on your face. They did that for me for my this last birthday and the birthday before when we went there. So that's something that makes me laugh. And then last night in Walmart, the waitress that normally waits on us grabbed my shopping cart, scared the hell out of me, and I laughed. I'm like, I'm going to pull my part, and I'm hearing her in Spanish, con permiso, excuse me, con permiso, con permiso. I'm like, who the hell is talking? Nobody talks to me in Spanish in Walmart. And then we laughed, and she hugged me because she literally comes up to here on me. She's comes up to just above my belt, if you will. Tiniest little thing. My point is I want you to get into a laughter state. And me talking about it, there's probably some resistance that's coming up in your body already going, yeah, but I got to be busy. I got to get stuff done. I promise you, you move into that frequency that you have this high skill set in, this high capability in, things will literally begin to change. You will be in that place starting today. I promise you, you'll start to see activities and you'll start to see, oh my God, okay, yeah, now I can see the flow. I would offer you to do that. I would suggest you, I would urgently encourage all of you to do that. Take 10 minutes and get into the highest state you can, because you're trying to see mountaintop decisions. You ain't even in the valley. You're in the lake underneath the valley. A lot of us are that. So that would be my suggestion. That would be my offer. Molly, what are you eating? What are you eating? Where do you get this stuff? You're not in trouble, baby girl.
They always eat something.
Yeah.
Load of beans too. It's terrible. They find whatever and they eat it. Now she's small. She shouldn't be eating weird stuff. At least Molly is bigger, and I'm sure she's much bigger
Molly,
now.
stop. Yes, she barely fits through the doggy door height-wise. She's got to kind of duck in and duck out.
Does she get through the doggy door?
Oh, yeah, she can get through it. Come here, Molly. Can you get up here? Can you get up here? Come here, Molly. Come here, Molly. Come here. Can you get up here? You gonna get up here? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, you're acting like a little queen. Come here. Get up here. Come here. There you are. Here's Molly.
Molly.
Here, Mama.
Look at her. She's so soft.
Yes, and Mason gave her a bath, so she's even softer.
Oh, look at her.
Hi, Molly.
She's gotten so big.
She's huge. And she's still, you know, that when they're still like the puppy and they're still just, they have no coordination.
She's still like that?
Yes, she'll go to, well, she's only 6 months old. She's
only 6 months old now?
Only 6 months old.
Oh my God. I thought she was much older. Yeah, she looks huge.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She's
not done growing. She's
no, I know.
More.
That's the thing, you know, and she'll come into my bed and she'll jump up on the bed, but just her front feet. I'm like, Molly, you could fly over the bed. She's like, no, I want you to pick me up.
No way. How much does she weigh now?
Well, because she's still puppyish. She probably weighs 50 pounds.
You think that's all?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause she's still skinny, real skinny. She hasn't grown into her skin yet.
Oh, she just looks big because she has all
Yes,
the hair.
all the fluffiness. Yes,
Yes, and it's so soft.
yes. And
Well,
I've shrunken quite a bit. I've lost probably 15 pounds since you all were here.
wow. So how have you lost the weight?
Just decide. I made a decision. I am not going to. My decision was I am not going to do that, and that is have to be on all of the prescription drugs, right? The different things for sugar, because my sugar was high, way high, and now I've gotten it in the last. I did a fast, a 2-day fast helped to reset. 48 hours, just water, which isn't that long.
No, it's not. I've done longer than that.
Right.
But I tell myself, yeah, and see, this is another thing I tell myself every morning, I'm not going to eat this. Then I get stressed and I get frustrated, and the first thing I do is run downstairs and look for food. That's
So,
that's a terrible thing. And
well,
I
here's the
wonder,
thing. Pay attention. Input. I'm not going to do this today. I'm going to be this. Interpretation is as soon as it shows up, I can lose. And that little signal. So what would be the different input is I'm not going to eat today. What would be the different input? What would be the same result we want is to get healthier, but what would be a different input rather than I don't want to eat today? I'm not going to eat today.
I don't know, I guess. Tell
Okay,
me.
so this is a good exercise. So, do you have anything healthy in the house? I'm sure you do, but do you have any healthy food snacks?
Well, I think I'm all out right now.
Okay.
There's I have to go to the store. I don't even have milk. I ran out yesterday for my foam coffee, so I just had black coffee, which is not bad
It is not
because
bad.
I have to have my coffee in the morning. I hate going to the store.
Well, don't hate going to the store if you can go get healthy snacks and get rid of your your weight. Think about it that way. Don't turn everything into the positive to start to adjust your signal. As I hate going. I'd rather not go to the store. If I go to the store, I'm going to get the best possible things for me and my future. I don't
I
like I don't like leaving the ranch. And
You
yet
don't
last
like
night,
living.
no, I don't like leaving it. Last night when we were in Walmart, I literally went on to ChatGPT into my run program that I have and my wellness program. I said, I'm at Walmart. What are healthy, because I don't buy healthy snacks. They usually just show up, or we've got the garden. I said, I'm in Walmart. What are some healthy snacks I could buy that I can use to snack on? It said radishes. I love radishes, but I never thought to buy those as a healthy snack.
Yeah, I love radishes.
Yeah, so radishes are good. And it said, if they have them, the mini cucumbers. I have never bought a bag of mini cucumbers in my life. I ate one walking out of Walmart.
That's funny. My daughter always requests them. If I ever ask, "Oh, do you want something from Aldi?" She'll ask for, I don't know, they're called Persian cucumbers or
Yes.
something.
Yep.
Yes, and the first time I was like, "What is that?" And and she says, "Well, those are the little cucumbers." I never even paid attention to them. That's funny. Yeah, I
So
mean,
there's two things you'll definitely like radishes. So get some radishes. And when you want to go downstairs, eat a radish. It's funny. One of the things I found in the last 3 weeks of doing this is that true whole. Heather has told me for the longest time, eat raw nuts. I'm like, what do you mean raw nut? They'd like without the the cinnamon and sugar on it or the roasted or any of that stuff. So last night coming home, I had a cucumber, a radish, and I had some raw nuts. And I'll be damned if my body didn't get filled up right away. When it gets whole food, real food, it's like, okay, that's enough. Where if it was beer nuts or honey roasted nuts, I'd ate the whole bag because I would have never been satiated.
yeah, I get a lot of nuts, but I get just the natural nuts.
There
I
you
don't
go.
even get the ones with the salt on it. Because there's always so much
Right.
salt on it. So yes, I love nuts, but yeah, I that is one of the snacks I get is nuts, but I
So
eat too
now,
many nuts. I
so
can
now, well,
eat the
I
whole
can
bag
understand.
too.
So now do this. Check your state right now, right? This idea of going to the grocery store and possibly when you find the cucumbers, you'll giggle, right? You'll even try one now, but you know you're going to get radishes for you to be healthy. And all of a sudden now you've got radishes, maybe some of these Persian cucumbers and some nuts. You've got some things when you come downstairs you can eat healthy. It's okay to snack. It's okay to use that. For now, it's okay to say I need a break and to go down and eat healthy.
Right, but it's like, oh, I need some sweet.
Yeah, but
And
that's another story.
I don't even buy many sweets at all.
Don't
But
buy
my
any. Don't buy
but
any.
but my daughter and her fiance buy them, so that's why they're in the house. So I will eat their snacks.
Okay, so then be like a little kid. Be like a little kid. If you didn't buy it, you can't eat it.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I mean for now. And then you listen. And
I shouldn't eat their snacks anyway. I
right,
mean,
exactly. But it'd be like a little kid. Don't eat my snacks. Don't cross this line. And maybe on the shelf where it is, you put a little piece of tape and go, well, that's on your side. I can't go on your side. I have some fun with it. It's literally, this is how we change our signal is we start to have some fun with these things. Because if the beatings will need to continue till morale improves, nothing gets better when you're beating yourself up. It just doesn't. It doesn't. We've got eons of history of beating things up. It doesn't change. It doesn't get them into a good state. So.
well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome, welcome, welcome.
Every time I see a radish now, I will think of you.
Aw.
But no, great ideas, great suggestions. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome,
I love
welcome,
you.
welcome. Love you too. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Good morning, my friend.
Morning, brother. Mr. Bob Kane, horseman.
So, a very interesting last 24 hours.
Shocking. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Love it.
So, the last week I have struggled because a friend who I went to high school with, we weren't best buddies, but we were friends. I lost connection with for 50 years.
Oh my gosh.
And then at my 50th high school reunion, we reconnected. And, you know, we haven't talked all the time, but, you know, every now and then we'll touch base or whatever, send a message or something.
Right.
And I know that he had been struggling with cancer.
Oh.
And had recovered and, you know, did all the things. And then last week he passed.
Wow.
And I was struggling with my feeling. I was feeling guilt. Because although I had shared what we have, I don't push and I didn't push and I don't know that I even really ever looked at anything I sent.
Right.
And with guilt that, you know, I could have done something.
Yep.
And then it took a week for that to change to responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've had an amazing gift. I didn't create it, but an amazing gift. And I'm responsible to share that with others. So that's kind of energized me. And once I got to that place, my brain shifted.
No.
And where I had been struggling for the last month or so with making progress with my business, bing, bang, boom, without really any effort. Yesterday, 3 people came into my life that I was able to share with.
Wow.
You know, it was just like, all right, it just lined up. And then as you were sharing this morning, what came to me was 2 things. Prior to the call, I'm laying there in bed in the morning, and as I often will do, and just searching for where I need to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt a switch in my chest.
Okay.
And it wasn't an on-off switch. It was one of those dimmer switches.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, I was able to move that switch, and the light came on and everything opened up. And the feeling was the same as one of our sessions sitting on your porch Actually, we were standing.
Mhm.
I was standing. I don't know what everyone else was doing because my eyes were closed. And I remember Amber making a comment about she could see what was going on. She is such a perceptive young lady,
Yes.
incredibly so. Um, but I was absolutely connected with God at that moment. And that's what I felt this morning, that connection. And I don't know what that has to do with everything you shared this morning, which was wonderful and brilliant, but I know it's connected. And grateful, so very, very grateful for the path I'm on, the journey I'm on, and all that's to come. And for you in my life, my friend, my brother, my gratitude just overflows in every direction. So,
Well, I love it. So here's the responsibility, right? Because you said some keywords, responsibility,
yeah,
and the signal got brighter. So the responsibility now is in this state, from this place, you have unlimited confidence.
yeah,
The universe, because you've created a void, and the universe doesn't like to operate in a void. It's impossible for it to operate in a void. There is no void in space. There may be nothing, there's something, but there is no void. So when you stepped out of this, when you turned up the signal to this new frequency, this new signal, this new light, this new energy, this new connection, there's a void of the old connection. Until such time that we say, and I love that. I love where I went from. I love where I'm at, because if we're like, I don't like that, it will show back up.
right,
Because it's where we focus on. So
yeah,
my offering to you is, you are about to be attacked in ways you've never imagined. Little things. It's like when you have a paper cut, you just bump your finger. Ow! It's a paper cut and you bumped your finger. It still hurts. You are going to have a lot of paper cuts, death by 1,000 paper cuts. So as you acquire this signal, and as you stand in this signal, in this frequency, in this new energy, your inputs will have to go through this new energy for interpretation, because we have a pattern in our brain. You have this connection, you have this wire, you have this energy, this frequency, you are turned on, turned up, tuned in, and ready for life. And when you go to think of, I got to go saddle steel, you'll saddle steel in the old vibration, because that's how you're used to saddling them. I want you to pause for just a second and say, how would I saddle steel in this new connection, this new responsibility, this new frequency? And watch how saddling steel is a whole new experience. You've saddled horses for decades. I want you to know that the next time, because you haven't saddled steel up yet today, right?
no,
Okay. So the next time you do, whether it's today, tomorrow, or next week, the next time you put a saddle on him, I want it to be the first time you're putting a saddle on him.
okay,
With all of your wisdom and all of your experience and all of your memories, I want you to think this, I'm getting, the vibration is coming through to me right now. I'm getting so excited right now. The vibration, every cell in my body is tingling. This is the first time I'm going to put the saddle on steel. And I want your demeanor to reflect that, your love to reflect that, your joy to reflect that. And you're still carrying the same 60-pound saddle or however much it weighs, and you're going to put the belly strap on and you're going to reach under. And I want it to be the first time you're doing it. The next thing you're about to go do, Bob, whatever it is on the ranch or with your bride or with anything or any of the dogs, I want it to be the first time, because it literally is the first time. And if what happens is we mask our life and mask the charade of success, and we go do the thing that we're going to go do with this new awareness in the old way. And Wallace D. Waddell says it's not about doing certain things, it's about doing them in a certain way. And you got the signal, you got the connection, you had this flip in your chest, the switch in your chest, and you turned up the volume. Everything you're about to go do is in this new volume, in this new state. And if you're not there, if you're not present, if that's not the first time ever you're doing it in this awe, bewonders you and bewilders you and just floods through your body. It is the old story, and you've just said, screw you, signal. You feel it?
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what just happened?
What?
As you were talking, one of the people that I shared with yesterday was calling me.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Oh, you won't believe what happened. I absolutely believe what happened.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too.
That's it. And that is exactly what I was explaining to Silke, is that when you get into this vibration, it has to flow to you.
Yep.
If we are in rejection mode of this new signal,
Right.
everything in our life is rejection. But if we
Yep.
say, give me more of the signal, give me more of the signal, give me more of the signal, make me more outstanding, all of a sudden, somebody call, you're giggling, you're going, oh my God, he just called while we're talking. This is crazy. This is how it's supposed to be.
It's accepting the blessings,
Yes.
being able to receive the gifts that God's sending us.
And then here's the thing. When God points his finger at you and says, receive this, my son, people are going to start to notice. And what happens when people notice how God is blessing you? They become jealous, which is why I ask, who's going to be jealous? And you have to still receive God's blessings and in such an overflow that you can give it to them.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Look at
Isn't
that.
life wonderful?
That
Isn't
signal that's
life
on your face right
wonderful?
now. That signal on your face right now. That little high school boy grin, like the cutest girl in town just asked me out. It's just, you can't stop it. You have this grin on you that is from your innermost core.
Amen. Yeah.
I love it.
Indeed.
I love it,
do
love it,
too.
love it. Oh, I'm so excited. This is so awesome.
I'm so grateful. Awesomeness.
Love it, brother. Thanks. And listen, God, thanks for sending the phone call in, because that's just like, that's God being like, that's God going, I'm good at this.
There you go. He is.
Yeah, I'm good at this.
You know what I describe as you're a little younger than I, but of the vintage to remember Star Trek.
Yes.
And Mr. Spock's playing his three-dimensional chess.
Yes.
The way I interpret it is, I'm trying to figure out checkers, and God is the master of seven-dimensional chess, and I don't even know what the heck that is.
And all we have to do is show up on the board and let him mentor us.
There you go.
Yep.
Yep. Awesome. Hey, you have a wonderful day. I love you.
Love you too, brother. I'm so excited.
Here we go. Let's roll.
Thanks, man. Love it. Love it.
All right. Love you.
Anyone else? Any last thoughts, comments, questions, takeaways? I'm always amazed that these wind up going 90 minutes. It's fascinating. I love it. It's so fascinating. All right, everybody, on your head brain training, let's go find your signal and turn it up, baby. Misfit, I'll see y'all where?
At the next event.
At the next event, Wheezy says.
At the next event.
And Diane. I love you all. Somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Pura vida.
Pura vida. And some Lydia.
Peace be with us all.
Peace be with us all. The queen of helping you tune in your signal, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss Lee.
Boss Lee. And a little white fluffy.
Gurgly.
Gurgly.
Gurgly, gurgly.
And I want you to just pay attention to something. I know we're supposed to wrap up. Do you realize that when you say those people's names, there are people that were much closer to them than any of us were, that they probably don't say their name every day? I promise you. This is significant. Let that flow into your system today as part of your signal. I don't know why I get so emotional. That you remember people that are special. And you do it, not just say you're going to do it, not just voice that you're going to do it. You literally do it. That is a commitment to your signal that you will not forget. And I would encourage you to make sure that the one you won't forget is yourself as well. There. I love you. I'll see you. Have a great day. Till then.
Thank you. Love you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you. Love y'all.